Hello everybody and welcome back to the Keanu Reeves Monthly Reviews. And today we are going to talk about the 2005 supernatural comic book film Constantine. Now before we go forward, I just want to say that this film is my introduction to Constantine. I do know that he has appeared in other animated projects and he has his own TV show. However, I haven't seen any of them. I'll be totally honest. I have only seen John Constantine, the character, in the context of this film. So, just for all of you to know that this review is coming from somebody who knows the character just from this film. Anyways, what's the story? Very quickly, this film follows John Constantine, who is played by Keanu Reeves, a demon exorcist whoever whenever a demon crosses the line or breaks the rule in any way, his job is to deport them back to hell. However, also Angela, who is played by Rachel Weisz, who is a cop, and her sister recently committed suicide. But it only seems that way. She believed that it was actually murder by supernatural means, and she goes to John Constantine to help her solve the murder of her sister. And that is the basic plot. There's a ton of more stuff, but that is just the gist of it. Anyways, to put it simply, so this film, when it came out, it wasn't loved. I did do some research, like this film was actually pretty hated. It's wild to me because honestly, this is one of my favorite comic book films from the 2000s. I find it incredibly underrated. It is fantastic, and honestly, this might be one of Keanu's best performances and characters. His role as John Constantine is so just dynamic. You don't really need the character's backstory, even though you do get it in this film, but just Keanu's performance just gives you what this character is all about. He is tortured, he is tired, but he will do the job. He will try his best to get a spot in heaven the best he can, even though he is damned to go to hell, sadly. Get what he is about from the opening. The opening is amazing. That entire scene where he helps to exorcist a demon from a little girl using a mirror is excellent, an excellent opening, and immediately like tells us something about this world and John himself, and just it's so good, so excellent, like fantastic opening. And you know what, even though that is an excellent action scene, there's a couple of other action scenes, like the scene where Angela goes through the walls and John follows her, and also the ending shootout, which is awesome. All that is awesome, but this is less of a action film, and I would actually describe it as more of a film noir. The tone and like colors of this film is very neo-noir-esque, and I just absolutely love that approach. It just gives the film much more vibes and like personality. Like, it is excellent. And speaking of personality and vibes, my god, I adore the cinematography and directing of this film. I cannot stress enough, this might be one of my favorite comic book films solely from the directing and cinematography. The director of the film is Francis Lawrence, and this is his directorial debut, by the way. I always think Francis Lawrence is a very underrated director, because though you probably have seen some of his films like the Hunger Games films, he has directed every single one of them besides the first one, and also recently The Long Walk. Even though he does make a lot of famous films, I still think that he doesn't deserve as much attention because, my god, his directing in this is just absolutely stellar, just absolutely amazing. Camera work, cinematography, just I absolutely love how the film looks, and that's also credit to the cinematographer, Philippe Russella, who is the cinematographer of the film, and he just does an absolutely beautiful job behind the camera. This is an absolutely gorgeous film. Generally, one of my favorite comic book films, again, if we solely judge it by the just cinematography and directing, because both Philippe Russula and Francis Lawrence have made an absolutely gorgeous looking film. But besides the film, there's also the amazing acting. Like I said, Keanu Reeves gives an amazing performance, generally one of his most underrated. He is just so good at John Constantine. Rachel Weisz, like I mentioned as well, she gives a excellent performance. She's somebody that is known for mainly like her dramatic roles. You never expected to see her in a comic book film, but her dramatic acting is really just perfectly used in this film. Generally feel so much for both Angela and also her sister Isabella. Her sister's name is Isabella, and you just, even though you don't see her much, you just feel so much for Isabella in this film as well. And I also like how John naturally cares more about Angela when the film goes on. The same for Isabella. Wonderful dynamics. There's also Tilda Swinton, who plays Gabriel. I mean, Tilda Swinton is an actress that is pretty much excellent in everything. She's one of my favorite like actors ever. Doesn't matter the gender. She is just excellent in everything. I just absolutely love her, and she plays Gabriel so excellently. She just does such an excellent job to make Gabriel so unlikable, but also just angelic at the same time. Of course, it is just an amazing performance. However, easily the best performance in this entire film, easily the most like talked about, the most famous one, and easily my favorite as well. Peter Stormare as Lucifer. My God, he is incredible as Lucifer. Generally, top 5 portrayals of Lucifer in any film ever. And the guy is only on screen for like 5 minutes at the end. It was just, that just kind of proves how good of an actor Peter Stormare is, because he's just so like entertaining and but scary as well. So petty, but yet so just you cannot get your eyes off of him when he's on screen. Stormare just gives such a good portrayal of Lucifer, and I just adore it. And I just adore that entire ending. I love the fact that the ending to this big comic book film doesn't end with a shootout or an action scene. Instead, it's just a conversation between Lucifer and John. It's very film noir-esque. It reminds me actually of the Maltese Falcon when I thought about it more, which makes sense because Francis Lawrence actually mentioned the Maltese Falcon as an inspiration for this film, which makes a lot of sense. Love that entire scene. It has incredible dialogue. The writing as well is just so good, so incredible. A lot of fantastic lines in this, and I just absolutely just loved it all. I loved watching it all. To put it simply, overall, I had an absolute blast with Constantine. It is generally one of the most underrated comic book films ever. I would honestly say that. It is generally that well acted, directed, the cinematography that good, the writing that good. It is generally just that good, and I would highly recommend it. I truly did had a blast rewatching Constantine. It is a film that I would love to see whenever it's on TV, because it is generally that good. If you're a fan of comic book films or film noirs, Keanu Reeves, uh, like if you're a fan, like if you just want to see something different in a comic book film, I highly recommend this, because this is just so different, so unique, and just awesome in a lot of different ways. Again, I had a blast and I highly recommend it. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the film. I hope that all of you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you guys think about the film in the comments, and have a great day. Thank you.